Okay, so the final problem that people have, so like, if we're talking about top of the funnel right now, it's like getting more product manager interviews and then also dealing with the seasonality issue of like, how do I go out there and change my job hunting strategy depending on what quarter I am in the year. But if we're actually moving beyond that conversation, the other conversation that we're having right now is okay, I'm getting the product manager interviews, but I'm not converting those interviews into actual offers. And this is actually very frustrating because what I hear from people all the time is I follow up with those companies that I interview with, and they end up hiring more junior people than me, less experienced than me, or different backgrounds than they said they were looking for. Number two, I also hear from a lot of product managers where they say they go to the final round all the time, but they're getting friend zoned, which is they don't have a rejection letter, nor do they have an offer letter, so they're just kind of stuck in limbo. Also, not a great place to go out there and be. Number three is that they go all the way to the final round interview. Seems like people like them, and then they end up saying like, "Oh, we are gonna go with somebody else with more experience than you." All right. Either way, you're either not converting those interviews, which is frustrating AF because it's so much effort right now to get the interviews. If you didn't watch, like I mentioned in my other video, in the other clip, uh, but like beyond that, right? Beyond that, that part of it is like, even when you're getting the interviews, you want to go out there and close because this is energy out of your day. You're not getting paid to do this. If anything, you're losing money doing this, right? So how are we? I'm going to go back to flexing my program again, which you can either do it with us or you can go ahead and do this thing on your own on school. Either or is fine with me. I just want you to win. I want you to win because I want you to get off of the job. But I'm pretty sure you'd rather watch other things than like me talk about why you're not getting this job. In fact, as annoying as I might be for some of you, I mean, I think you'd rather just wrap it up already, right? Why are we getting multiple offers? We're getting multiple offers because we've gotten down interviewing down to a science. So I give people an unfair advantage. I don't know why there's a little flap on my hair right here. I give people this unfair advantage in actually interviewing because I saw the answers that people gave in the interview process when I was a tech recruiter in California, and I saw that it wasn't so much the answers they were providing to the questions that was being asked, but more so the answers, the questions that they were asking back. So we have to really know our customer in terms of who is ultimately deciding whether or not you get this job. The first thing that you have to understand is that your customer is a head or director of product. What does your customer want? Who is your customer? Your customer is somebody just like you had dreams at one point, and life did not turn out the way that they wanted it to. They're usually, I'd say, early mid 30s. I don't think. I think it'd be. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's actually kind of difficult for you to be a head or director of product in your 20s unless you actually have an equity stake or you're part of the company, or like your early mid 40s. You essentially want to do no work. And unfortunately, too many product managers that are interviewing, whether you're an aspiring product manager or an experienced product manager, in fact, the aspiring product managers are actually trumping the experienced product managers in the domain of interviewing, even though they have less work experience. So I talked to my team and I talked to so many people that are like, I'm looking at who they ended up hiring. They ended up hiring somebody more junior. Like, this is like total travesty. Like, you cheated on me with that. Yeah, 100%, right? Why do you think you're missing out on it? Okay, the only value you serve as a product manager, and this is going to offend people, but I want you to win. I want you to not only get the job, I want you to get promoted. Is if you can help a head or director of product, along with everybody else that you interview with, either be able to focus their time and energy on doing work that only they can do. That's a level one interview. Level one interview gets you like a 140, 160K offer. You're talking about level two interview? A level two interview is that gets you like a 175 to 195K offer is you can effectively take off of me whatever it is that I don't enjoy doing so I can focus all my time on doing only the things that I enjoy doing. A level 3 interview, which is a 200K, 250K plus offer, kind of like the one that we just nabbed right here, baby. Now that is like, you can almost effectively help me do almost no work. So, what is the difference? Okay, let's go back to who our customer is. You want to know why a lot of software engineers can't land a product manager job even though they have a technical background? And I get so many finance and investment bankers that say like, oh, I'm losing my job out to like software engineers. Actually, software engineers have a very difficult time landing a product manager job. And it's not because they're introverted. It's because a lot of software engineers feel like if we endorse and hire this software engineer as a product manager, they end up doing our job, and they end up being able to understand that we spend a lot of our time either slacking, or if not slacking, they audit us so much it's almost like micromanagement, and they don't like that. When you are a head or director of product, you are clearing 250 north of 300K. You got into this business to make it big. You thought at this point in the game you were going to get acquired, and you're going to be giving TED Talks from Stanford to NYU. And that hasn't happened for you. And you bored AF. You probably have 1.5 kids, a mortgage, and like there isn't a bunch of 300K product manager jobs that are floating out there. You don't go on LinkedIn and Indeed and type in head of product and there's a bunch of roles. Now, I've posted up some on my LinkedIn, but to tell you the truth, the market was not made, like LinkedIn and Indeed as a marketplace was not made for a 250, 300K role. You know, one of my best friends is actually a COO of a startup. Makes 400K a year. And he's asked me, like, what do you think would happen to me if I got laid off tomorrow? Oh, you're done. Because what are you going to do? Type in 400K job on LinkedIn and there's going to be a bunch? It's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's the truth. It's actually the most dangerous position. This is why I tell everybody start a side hustle. So the questions that you need to go out there and ask, and the people that like you're probably like get to the point. Here's the thing: the better you master this, the easier it's going to be for you to get multiple offers. These people get multiple offers and they can pick whatever job they want because they understand this. And it's so common sense to me that I don't know why more people don't do it, but the reality is people can't, even though I show it to them. It's because they don't have the training. It's different watching Michael Phelps swim on a YouTube video versus like you actually training with Michael Phelps in the swimming pool. Ask them questions. When they're asking you a question like, what's your leadership style? They don't really give a shit. When they're asking you a question like, how would you resolve a conflict between two developers? What they really mean to ask you is, and I see so many people go on and on and on and on about how they would go ahead and do that. They also don't give a shit. What they really mean to say is, I have two software and I have two devs on my team. They take up 4.5 hours of my week every single week, like clockwork. I would absolutely get rid of them if I could, but I can't. They're holding me hostage. Nobody else seems to want to deal with it. Either they can't or they just don't want to. Either way, it falls on me, and I don't want to take that anymore. What would you do about that situation? Because that's something I don't want to do. And if I got a budget to go out there and hire somebody, it should really be your problem. That's what they really mean to ask. So there's an answer for that. And I can go out there and tell you the answer later. But the truth of the matter is they're looking for who is going to give me the most amount of my time back so I can either go ahead and do the things that only I could do the things that I enjoy doing, or go back to doing nothing. Experienced product managers have so much of an ego about like, well, if I did their job, I mean, what are they going to do? Nothing. That's the truth. They want to just go out there and delegate it over to you. If you take a look around the office, or even when you had a job, the people that are making the most amount of money, they're not exactly the smartest people, but they're pretty smart people in the sense that they don't really work that hard. Maybe they're not even that good at their job. But what they are very effective at, and which is why they get the 200, 300, 400, 500K roles, and they're in a position of leadership, even though you can't bring yourself to respect them, and they make you do all the work, but you make them look really good, is because they have effectively mastered the art and the science of convincing the people that they need to, that if you let me sit in this role and pay me all this money, I can help you do only the work that only you could do, only the work that you enjoy doing, or I can help you do absolutely no work or the least amount of work possible. And that's all you really have to look forward to at this point is time, because you don't want to go job hunting. You don't want to watch YouTube videos like this of me. You don't want to go ahead and do it. That's what we train people to go ahead and do. Too many people are like, oh yeah, what's your customer discovery process? Well, I go back to this book by author and I use this 5-letter framework. Boring. I'm going to call bullshit. Nobody actually uses those frameworks. No, like, come on. It's like watching an episode of Training Day. You do what they tell you to do at the academy, you will die. So, with that said, like, there is a way for you to go out there and convert multiple offers. You can either go out there and try to do it yourself. I don't think you have a chance, because I haven't seen anybody else. If you can find another company that can actually convert multiple offers at the rate and scale that we do it, I hope you get your next product manager job for free. But this is really an art that you need to master, which is like persuasion and influence and convincing people to say yes to you. Because this is also why people that are coming out of my program are getting raises as fast, getting promoted faster than everybody else, getting to the yes. And I think that's a very important skill to go out there and have. But that can only start if you have the right training. And it's going to go out there and help you, like, you're going to be making a little bit more money than you were originally quoted in your verbal offer, something that you have to go out there and consider. So, can you still convert interviews into offers? Yes. But what you have to go out there and realize is you are selling your time to take their time away. Also, the other thing here is branding yourself as the person to go ahead and do more roles than just the one that you're interviewing for. In 2024, going into 2025, what most people just don't realize is this. Most people are interviewing with pre-recession tactics, which is like, oh, you're looking for this e-commerce product manager, you're looking for this go-to-market product manager, I can be that product manager. But with the amount of layoffs that's already happened, they're looking for like somebody to be a product manager and like 4 or 5 other things. If you're still left on the job right now, you're doing like 5 other people's jobs too, right? The more you have to offer, the better, more attractive of a candidate you are. So the people that are getting those jobs, that are out competing you, most likely they're coming out of my program, is they're branding themselves either as the person that actually wants to do more, or they actually legitimately can do more than you, versus like you're just at best saying like everything on that job description I can go out there and do, versus somebody else is like, I can do everything on that job description plus 8 other things. What else do you need? That's why they're getting multiple offers.